Hey everyone, hope you're well. Today is going to be a quick get ready with me chit chat video because it's been a while since I've done one of these. I've gone in with my moisturizer. This is the Clean Screen Moisturizer Skin Prep made by Mitchell. I'm actually going to do some intense lip sleeping mask on my lips. This is the P. Louise in Happy Hour. What it is, the passion fruit scent. I'm actually just getting ready quickly because we are going out, but I also need to film some videos, so I said might as well, whilst I'm getting ready and doing my makeup quickly, that I would film like a quick get ready with me and chit chat video, because I still have to do my makeup and we're still going out. So it's been a while since I've done a video like this actually, and I feel like I need to talk with you guys because a lot of things have happened since my last chit chat video. I've had another kid, we have another girl. Very different to Riley, I have to say. Very different. She is a light sleeper. She's more on our side of the family. She's very fair. And well, Riley is just literally her dad. And when we look at Maisie is literally my sister when she was young, which is really strange to see. Currently going to be using this again, you guys. I did a video on this a couple of videos back, and I did a first impression. I really like this. It's very light. It's the Max Factor Miracle Pure Skin Reset 2-in-1 Serum Foundation. I use the 30-40 and it's perfect because I'm really pale at the moment. So you just give it a nice shake and I just literally do a couple of drops. Again, I don't do a lot of makeup when I'm not going anywhere out special. I literally just do the minimal makeup that I can do, because I do feel like less is more unless you have like an event. So I don't do a lot of makeup when I'm going out. I just feel like less is more. I actually prefer it, and I'm loving these like skin tints at the moment. They're really nice and just is, I don't know how to explain it, enough for my skin currently. My skin has actually gone really good. It did go through a bit of a tumble dry, I would call it, a tumble, when I was pregnant as well, and I actually kept the pregnancy on a down low. Not many people knew about my pregnancy, as we just kind of preferred it that way, and I didn't even put on any social media or anything, and it wasn't the best pregnancy, I would say. I threw up a lot. There was a lot of throw-ups. My stomach just was not having it, and not just that, it was so different to Riley. Like with Riley I would eat anything, whereas with Maisie, pretty much I think even my weight just stayed the same. It didn't fluctuate, it didn't change as much. I think I only put on maybe 5 to 7 kilos, and she actually had to be born early due to the fact that she was coming at 2 weeks smaller than she's supposed to be. So I actually had to give birth to her at 38 weeks, and all was well until I had to have an emergency section. That's when the panic started. Honestly, I'm not someone who likes operations. I never needed to have an operation, and honestly that was the most petrifying thing that I ever had to go through. Like, I much prefer, if I had to choose, I much prefer a normal birth. Obviously now I've actually had to go through both, and the reason why I had to have an emergency C-section was I always wanted to have the feeling of my water breaking naturally, and it did as soon as I was getting admitted to and being like assigned my bed and everything. My waters broke whilst I was walking, and I was like, is this how that works? And she was like, yeah, your waters broke, that means that you're not going to go for your induction tomorrow, it's actually tonight. And I was like, oh, okay, that was something I was not expecting. But I just stayed at 2 for literally 14 hours, so I was getting all the contractions in and everything, and she was just not, I was just not opening. It was one of those things. And then it took 3 midwives to find out. So we went through, like, you know, you have someone, then they have a changeover, and then another changeover. It was the 3rd midwife who noticed there was something not right, and one of her hands got stuck, and it was like they were feeling a bone, and that's where she's like, well, we can't do anything else, you have to go for an emergency C-section, which I was not the happiest about, but obviously just we needed to get her out. It was like 14 hours into labor. Obviously I was not opening naturally, so she had to come out. I have never felt so petrified in my life. Just knowing that someone's cutting me open and I'm not seeing anything, I'm not in control, whereas when you're having a normal birth, you're doing it yourself, it's all natural. And I think the most thing I was petrified for was the recovery. I have to be honest, the recovery I was pretty much scared about, because I do a lot of things myself. I have obviously Riley, who's a 3-year-old, and I was just petrified of how the recovery is going to look like. As you can see, very natural. So I did Max Factor. This is the American Pure Golden Glow Bronzer number 2 medium to deep, and then I actually went in with the P. Louise cheek of it in Fuchsia Feels. That's what I've got in a moment. But again, I like to go very natural. So yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to be, and she actually just did mention that the aftercare after having a C-section was you can hold her, but your husband has to do basically everything for the first day. So I gave birth on the Thursday, and basically Ryan had to look after her, change her, do everything. I was bed rest and bedridden for like a whole day on the Thursday, because I gave birth at around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I couldn't do anything. I was literally like, the most scariest part I think for me was being cut open, feeling stuff but not feeling stuff at the same time, not being able to move my legs. That petrified me like no other. And you're waiting to get the sensation back after the epidural, and honestly that was scary. Like as soon as I started to feel my feet, which I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, oh my god, I can feel my feet. Does that mean I'm getting my sensation back? Like, oh my god, finally. Like, you keep trying to move stuff and nothing's moving, and that literally petrified me, honestly. I was just waiting and waiting, because obviously, you know, you always have all those complications. And actually, one thing I didn't mention, whilst I was having my C-section, they actually somehow managed to rip one of my fallopian tubes. So I only have one fallopian tube, and they actually managed to rupture or rip the right fallopian tube. So the one thing I did ask was why I was under it, because there was so much stuff that they actually give you, just, you know. And the one thing I remember asking was, does that mean that I only get one period? I only get one period every 2 months? Because like, doesn't your period go through the fallopian tube for the eggs and stuff like that? That's the one thing I could think of, really, that I could think of, and stuff like that. So I did lose a fallopian tube whilst doing this emergency C-section. Obviously the fault is not mine, because I can't rupture or rip a fallopian tube, so that probably would have been done during the procedure, which can happen. Obviously these things can happen, and there's not much you can really do. Obviously not the greatest, but thing is, all I could think of was, as long as my child is out, as long as my child is healthy, as long as everything's fine, I'm not really bothered. And the thing is, the first thing they told is like, you're fine. If you want to get pregnant again, you can. You have another one. Might be more difficult to get pregnant and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not thinking of having another kid, so that's fine. My goal was always like 2 is the max. I always wanted to have a sibling for Riley, so that's what we did. But yeah, knowing that it's still on the card, it's always good. Like, it's always good to have that thing just in case. But apart from that, the recovery wasn't as bad. It was bad in the beginning, like honestly, just to sit up and like try and feed a baby at night, it was a bit of a, you know, challenge. But thankfully she was quite good, honestly. Like, she is a dream. She's much easier than Riley. She farts, so there's no gas, she just farts it out and everything's good to go. which I've never, I think is with Riley, I've only ever heard her fart when she has diarrhea, and it's obviously again not that often. But this Maisie, oh my god, she farts, and also like everything like goes through her system so well, which is great, and it's a blessing in disguise. But then she really struggles to sleep. Like literally we're having days where she's up from 6 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. If she has 2 30-minute sleeps, it's the most she can get, and then she struggles at night to go back to get to sleep. And then we've got her nasal at the moment. She's really struggling with her nose, which is quite sad, but we're getting somewhere. But yeah, she's gorgeous, honestly, guys. She is easy and not. She likes being on you as well. I'm trying not to get her into the phase that Riley went into. With Riley obviously being the firstborn, you're like not sure what's the best thing to do. You're constantly like hugging her, you know, having the best cuddles and stuff, which obviously I love the newborn cuddles, honestly. Like, it's amazing. But at the same time, you want to make sure you're not smothering them. You're giving them the time that they need, making sure that they're very independent and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been amazing. I don't know what else I can say, really. It's nice to see them cute together. Riley did take a while to like her. It took her a whole month. She was petrified of her cry. She would go hiding in the bedroom, and she'll scream herself because she'd be petrified of her, which we felt so bad. But thankfully it only took a month, and then after a month she's constantly hugging her. So if she's crying herself, all we need to do is put Maisie in front of her, and she'll just hug her and hug it out, and she'll be fine. Which again is a blessing in disguise, because that's just the sweetest thing, seeing siblings just smile, and like you see like her face just is content when she has her on her and she's hugging her. We have so many cute photos about it, of it as well. But yeah, having 2 kids is not easy, but we're managing. And the funny thing is, when I had Riley, I hardly went out, honestly. Like, going out was never on the cards. But since I've had Maisie, and this is 2 kids, somehow I'm managing to get out, which is amazing. I did the food shop by myself, where normally when it's like this, normally Ryan does the food shop, I stay with the kids. But I was like, well, I had already gone out because I had to get some bits and bobs for Riley for school, and I was like, do you want to stay home? I'm like, I can just go and do the food shop. I'm like, then if I need you, I'll just call you and just come and get the stuff from downstairs, kind of thing. And he was like, yeah, it's okay, like, why not? I'm like, and the thing is, every time he goes, the bread gets squashed. So to avoid bread getting squashed, I decided to go myself. And honestly, that was so nice. The thing is, I'm so used to being with the kids that I actually miss them so much, because I'm not around them that much, you know. I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, it's nice to get out of the house. And I think somehow it's much easier with 2 kids than it is with 1. I think the first one you're always like scared, not sure, everything's like a question mark. Whereas with the second, when you have 2, you've already kind of done it with the first, so it makes life a bit easier, and it is much easier. Like, I think Ryan was not 100% staying with them, obviously because it's a challenge, and obviously we have Riley who's like currently being like properly potty trained, so we have like missed signals. Like, she won't know if she actually has to go. She doesn't come and tell us most of the time that she needs to go unless we take her. So we have that thing with her at the moment. So then it's like, are you gonna forget to go and take her to the toilet if you have Maisie on you? Are you going to manage to do both? And yeah, it can be a bit difficult, but we're managing somehow. We do have missed opportunities with her at the moment with the potty training, because we've only really started it in September, because we had all summer. She had a really bad upset stomach, so we couldn't really do it properly, and we only had till the end of September for school to be properly potty trained. Obviously that's the ideal way. And So we do have a few accidents here and there at school, but I just make sure I have a change of clothes for her, or as I mean change of clothes of uniform, really, not change of clothes in general, and that really helps. And basically this is what I do with makeup. I really don't do that much and I'm already done. I just need to do a bit of lip. I don't do a lot. But yeah, everything overall has been doing well. I'm actually getting back into makeup as well, which I mentioned on my socials that I'm getting back into makeup. I've got everything that I need for makeup artistry now, and I've actually got space as well. I can actually do up a studio as well for my. I've got space thanks to my sister, and we're just currently kind of finalizing how we're going to do that. So I can work from home. I don't really necessarily like doing, like, going from one place to another, like traveling, unless it's like bridal and that's like at a hotel or at the bride's place. Actually, I just find that out just a lot of time, but I like just having everything in one place, like a studio. Like here I have a studio in my house, and I also might actually have a studio at my sister's shop, which we're trying to work out how we're going to do that as well. That's very exciting. Again, as you can tell, I'm doing my makeup at the same time talking about so many different things at once, because that's just how you do it. Yeah, my life has been a bit of a whirlwind. I can say this year has been a bit of a whirlwind, actually. But yeah, I don't think I would change it for the world. Had a really good year as well, which has been fantastic. And yeah, I just think sometimes you just have to beat around the bush, wait for everything to come your way, wait for everything to happen the way you want it to happen, and that's all you really need. So this is basically my look that I'm going to go for to record some videos. And I'm currently lining the lip liner with the lip gloss. If you spoke to myself, my 2016 self that I'd be wearing lip gloss, she would laugh in your face and say no effing way. But somehow 2024 Stefy loves lip gloss. Who would have known? But yeah, this is my look. I'm just going to take these down. I have to do my hair somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I might leave it down just to film the videos and maybe put it up, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my look. That's my little chit chat that I had to talk to you about. It's quite long, it's about 20, I'm not sure, maybe 15 minutes long. But yeah, that is my little chit chat. So I'll check in with you guys at a later date. But yeah, that's just basically a little update whilst I do my makeup and before I film the rest of the videos that I need to film. So see you guys later. Bye everyone.